for your KPI. In terms of how to measure and optimize, it's really strongly recommended that you use what we call a SMART objective. So we want to use SMART criteria for objectives because they help us think about the practicality of achieving each goal and focusing on things which are feasible. So we'll unpack a SMART criteria in a second, but essentially we're wanting to create and work within a measurement framework. We're wanting to demonstrate and understand the impact and ROI of social media to the wider business. And an example of a SMART objective is to say specific, obviously, achieve or relevant, measurable, and time-based. So that's, of course, what SMART stands for. And the example would be, we want to increase our followers on Twitter to drive more organic social traffic to the website. We want to gain 1,000 new followers from our marketing by the 31st of January. So there you can see you've got each of those elements, and that's really important to do for each of your platforms. So if, for example, you were running all 4 of the platforms that we've discussed during the course of this masterclass or the previous masterclasses, we would map Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and we would set a SMART objective. So what is the main aim of that platform's social media in specific? So then on the right hand side, you can obviously see KPIs or key performance indicators. And here you would say, what metric are you using to measure whether or not you've reached that SMART objective? And you can do this as advanced or as basic as you would like. So for example, here you can see we've mapped not only the KPI, but also the description, the metric, the data source, the benchmark, and the target. So benchmarks are interesting because there are some industries where you can easily find benchmarks. However, these are often international, so it's not necessary. And if you can't find it, obviously it's not the end of the world at all. But if you come from a corporate perspective, then obviously it is great to have a benchmark. From an industry perspective, or alternatively you can use a benchmark from previous campaigns. And then a target would be basically what you're setting out to achieve. So whether that on the previous example is 1,000 followers, then you simply pop in 1,000 there. So it's great to create a measurement framework up front, whether it be for an ongoing social media exercise or for a monthly campaign, as we've mentioned earlier. But either way, it's really important that you do know exactly how it's performing. Another way of doing this is to actually map the buyer's journey. So from awareness to advocacy, you could actually state an objective, a social media strategy, an activity, KPIs, and business impact across the line. So you can really get very in-depth KPI frameworks or key performance indicator frameworks or measurement frameworks, depending on how you want to call them. But essentially, it's all kind of keeping you honest in terms of understanding whether or not something is working for your brand or not. In terms of how you can measure your social media efforts, so each of the platforms that we've discussed in the duration of this course have their own insights or analytics dashboards, which we've touched on briefly in the previous masterclasses. However, I think it is very necessary to dive into these each individually. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So in terms of these social media platform insights and analytics, let's start with Facebook. So here I'm logged into my Facebook. I can click on Do Digital Academy, which is a page that I'm of course an admin on the left hand side. And then once I'm on that page, I can click on Insights. And then here it will give me my page summary to show exactly what is happening over the last 7 days. That's the default view. On Instagram, it's of course equally easy to access Instagram analytics. You would simply go to your avatar in the bottom right hand corner. It actually displays a little blurb on the top line in the second screen there. However, to get to your full analytics, you would swipe to the left or in from the left, and you click Insights, and there you can see from the Instagram app exactly what is going on in terms of reach on your Instagram. On Twitter, just to recap, you would simply click the drop down top right hand corner and you would say Analytics. And then here you can see there's a whole dedicated site on Twitter just to understanding your analytics. So if you want to get into more detail with Twitter, there's actually 3 individual dashboards on Twitter. So Tweet Activity, which measures engagement and learns how to make your tweets more successful. Then there's Followers, which allows you to explore your interests, locations, and demographics of your followers. And then there's Twitter Cards, which actually tracks your Twitter cards, and how those drive clicks, app installs, and retweets. Here's an example of a Twitter dashboard showing you that your tweets earned X amount of impressions over a 28-day period, for example. To recap on LinkedIn's analytics, again, you'd click the avatar in the top right-hand corner, and there it'll display all the pages that you're an admin of, in which case I can click on Do Digital and actually delve into the analytics here.